Thanks for agreeing to talk to me. I have heard you speak often. I read your essays all the time. You seem to be vehemently against secondary progressions. Why is that?
While I'm talking, I'm going to hand you my notebook. I want you to do a secondary progress chart for yourself for the age of 90, whatever year that is. When I started in astrology, it was 1967. The prediction systems introduced at that time were transits and secondary progressions. I didn't know enough to question anything.
Okay, I have my progress chart for age 90.
In order, tell me how many degrees Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn moved from their natal positions. Tell me in degrees.
4, 4, 3, and 9.
So what that tells you is that those planets will never make an aspect during your entire life that was not there natally. You basically have the Sun through Jupiter, and even then, Jupiter doesn't move that much, so you have the Sun through Mars. The outer planets move so slowly each day in our ephemeris world that this slowness is translated into very little movement each year in our day for a year symbolism.
I have never thought about this.
In secondary progressions, we lose the use of the planets Jupiter through Pluto. They have practically no value. The best that can be hoped for is the completion of an aspect already formed natally, and that means absolutely nothing.
It doesn't?
It means nothing. There are many things in secondary progressions that are just absolute folly. It means nothing when a retrograde birth planet goes direct or vice versa. It means nothing when a planet changes signs, except when the Sun goes to 0 degrees of a cardinal sign. These things are myths now. You never hear about them because they were ephemeris-based techniques. Now that everything is done via computer, you don't even know when these things occur.
Gee, that is very true.
The creators of the secondary progression system in the early 17th century did not have the outer planet slowness problem because those planets had not yet been discovered. For the astrologers of those times, the horoscope was overbalanced in favor of the swift-moving inner planets.
Wow. That is a very good point.
With the discovery of the outer planets and the increasing complexity of life, they needed a better system, and that system was developed by W.J. Simonite. It is called solar arcs. In solar arcs, the position of the natal sun is subtracted from the position of the secondary progress sun for a given year. The sum gives the arc. That arc is then added to every planet and position in the horoscope. This creates an enormous number of new aspect relationships with the natal picture.
I had heard of solar arcs, but never used them.
Prediction work is very incomplete with them.
And so you don't use secondary progressions at all?
Only the moon. The movement of the secondary progressed moon is a powerful contributor to prediction, especially when it passes over angles of the chart. Such occurrences usually marks a significant change of a person's connection with internal or external environment, or both, a new approach or shift for self-realization. The other factor of importance is when the secondary progressed moon makes a conjunction, square, or opposition to natal Saturn. What happens is that the environment and the personality's needs are in conflict during these times. The resolution to the problem demands planning and doing something about the situation. Theses times can be accompanied by the absorption of difficulties and challenges.
Holy cripes, Batman, I was just thinking. I get laid off just a few months before my SP moon squared natal Saturn.
Which reminds me, this aspect lasts a year. There are the 6 months leading into it, and the 6 months coming out of it. In general, conjunctions, squares, and oppositions from the SP moon to natal planets are going to mark a time when the behavioral faculty of the planet or the house it rules will become emphasized. For example, conjunct Venus can indicate a time of heightened romance, the birth of a child, a party of importance, or a period of strong popularity.
I can't wait to get home and mess with this. But I don't know enough about solar arcs.
I would be glad to help you. Send me an email and we can talk about taking my course. I will look to hear from you.
Oh, you will. Thanks again.
Teaching is my pleasure.